What's up guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video. So today we're doing something a little bit different than you usually see on the channel. Today we're talking product photography, and more specifically, how can you get professional looking product photography results for less than £100. Product photography is a cool little area of photography. You can do some really good stuff with it, and in fact it's something that is important in most of our lives. Whenever we buy and sell something, every time I sell something on eBay, I want to try to get the photos to look as good as possible, because I genuinely believe that helps with the sale and helps your item stand out more than maybe all the other people who might be selling the same item. It might be that you do product photography perhaps for your business, your side hustle. You might sell things like bracelets or whatever else, and you want to get nice looking photos. It might be that you want to just do it for a little fun project, and in fact that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today, and I'll share that with you in just a second. But either way, professional product photography is something that is often set up in special studios with loads of different lights and really high-end cameras, something which can cost thousands of pounds to do properly. But today we're going to try and do the entire thing for less than £100, and that's including the camera and lens that we're going to use. Backdrop, lights, everything for less than £100. Before we get into all of that, I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favour. Hit the like button on the video. It helps me out loads and loads on the channel, and I really do appreciate you doing it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Right, let's get stuck into doing this. So first of all, let's talk about the camera. Now, maybe I'm cheating a little bit here, but I'm actually counting the camera and the lens as free, as costing nothing. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's something that pretty much all of us have anyway. And that is right here. It is our mobile phone. So I'm going to be using our mobile phone because I'd say 99% of us have one of these in our pockets anyway. And so if you've got this anyway, you're not having to add any additional cost, you're not having to buy a special camera or lens. So I'm counting this as free because it is literally sat right there anyway. And actually, for what we're going to do, that is more than good enough to do the job. The bit that's really going to make the difference is the background we use and how we light this. Now that's where a really cool product comes into place. Now, you guys might have seen these before on Amazon or eBay or somewhere like that, but you can buy studio boxes, like little tabletop boxes with LED lights in them and a white background. So that's exactly what I've managed to get hold of. Now, I was looking on Amazon and eBay and stuff like that, and by total coincidence, Niwa got in touch with me. Now, I don't know if you guys pronounce it Niwa, however you want to say it, but Niwa got in touch with me and they asked me if I would be interested in reviewing their tabletop studio Lightbox. Absolutely perfect timing. I'd been intending on doing this anyway. So just quickly, for full transparency, this is not a sponsored video at all, but Niwa did send me the studio box for free. So they sent that to me so that I could try it out and see what I think. Obviously this video is going to kind of by default include a bit of a review of that box, but it's not a sponsored video at all. So if it's no good, I'm going to tell you guys it's no good, don't worry. Right, it's arrived, and actually it is in this little box over here. So let's get hold of it. Okay, so inside here we've got, oh cool, okay, it comes in like its own little bag thing. So nice, that's pretty cool. When it comes to stuff like this, I do appreciate something like this because you're not going to be using this all the time. I want to be able to get this out, set it up now, use it, then put it away. And the fact it all goes into a nice little self-contained bag that I can chuck over there, I do like that, so winning for me straight away. Now you can pick up this exact studio box on Amazon right now for about £80. I'm going to link it in the description below. It's about £80. So this is the kind of biggest expenditure, and of course I've said the video under £100, but actually about £80 you can get the job done for. So really impressed with that, to be fair, because just having an initial look and seeing the pictures of it online, it looks like it is a pretty professional setup. So what am I going to be photographing with it? Well, I'm going to be photographing these little Lego figures. Now, I've got one here, and you guys have seen Lego figures feature in my videos before. I don't know if you can make them out in the video, but I've got a whole little set of them sat up here on the shelf, and I'm going to photograph those for a bit of a personal project that I'm working on. I've always loved Lego, I loved it when I was a kid, and I particularly like these little like vintage, older Lego characters. So I'm going to try to create a fun series of photos that I intend on printing, kind of, you know, decent size prints that maybe might be good for like one of the boys' bedrooms, or maybe something like on the stairs in a corridor. Fun kind of artwork that you can make, and that's what I was referencing earlier. You can use product photography to create some really fun artwork for your house, your office, your studio, and that's what I'm going to be doing with it today. I'm going to photograph these Lego men. For the sake of the video here, probably only going to photograph like 3 or 4 of them, but I'm certainly going to have some more photos of them coming along the way real soon. Right, let's get into setting up this box and we will take some photos. Let's go. So actually building the box, first of all you have to build the frame. So you build the frame with the white sticks, then you put that like into the actual tent, the black and silver lining inside tent. Then you clip the LED lights in the top. You've got 2 LED strips, you clip like one at the front and one near the back. The cables for those like run out the side, you plug them into the power supply, stick them in the wall, and that's it. Now you guys have seen a bit of B-roll of me setting it up, but genuinely from unzipping the bag to it being set up was less than 5 minutes. Now that I know how to do it, if I was setting it up again, I could probably do it in like 2-3 minutes. So real easy to set up, good to go, and of course folds down nice and small. Okay, right, so I've built it, as you guys saw, and in fact I've actually taken the photos, so I'm going to kind of talk through the rest of this process now because my space is not massive and it was going to be way too awkward to try to like build it and then talk and take photos and talk, so, but yeah, all set up. I did the actual photos in the box. Now I found that the platform at the base of the box was a little bit too low because of course the figures I was photographing were so low down. So what I did was I got a cardboard box and I slid it underneath the white background, the base, to then lift that up a little bit so it was sitting higher. Made that a lot easier for me. It just meant that I could get down and get the camera in front of the model to be able to take the photos nicely. In terms of camera settings, I guess I'll touch on those. I just put my phone literally in fully auto as it is normally. I did make sure by tapping on the screen that it was focusing on the models, but I didn't do anything too fancy with that. If I was using my camera, I would have gone with a wider depth of field, something like f9, to make sure I got all of the model in focus. I'd have gone with ISO right down low to about 100, because of course the LED lights are lighting the scene, the product. And then the shutter speed, I would have gone with whatever had worked in between to get the exposure right with the lighting. But because I did it on my phone, I wasn't worried about that. I literally was just letting the camera decide what I was doing and I was taking the photos. I didn't use a tripod or anything like that, but as you guys would have seen, I kind of rested the phone like on the surface of the table to make sure it was really steady. But the automatic shutter speed in the phone wouldn't have gone too slow anyway because the scene and of course the studio box was really well lit. Took quite a few photos of each model to try to make sure that I got the right one and just in case anything had misfocused. And then I put them into Lightroom and kind of edited the photo as I normally would. Now I'm conscious that using Lightroom maybe adds an extra expense because not everybody's going to have a program like Lightroom. What I would say, if that's the case, don't worry, use Snapseed. Snapseed is an app that you can download for free. You can edit photos right there in your phone. And to demonstrate that, I've actually edited one of the photos using Snapseed so that I haven't had to use all of my Adobe software to get a good result. I'll show you that in a minute. And in fact, we'll put them side by side in a minute so you can see how they look. So right, look, let's start looking at the photos, right? I'm going to shift myself to this side of the frame because I'm going to put the photos in here on this side of the video. So here you go. Look, these are the photos, right? These are the ones that I've edited in Lightroom. They look really nice, eh? They look really good. And in fact, for my project that I'm doing and getting these printed, I think they're going to look really nice. Really pleased with how they've come out. Gonna try and do this as a bit of an expanded series. Now a few of the Lego characters I've got are older ones, like vintage ones, like this little racing driver literally is one I had when I was a kid. And I want to try and do that. I'm going to dig through some old Lego and I'm going to have a look and see if I can dig out those kind of more like antique vintage characters, like, you know, the old, like the castle knight and the pirate and the astronaut and those ones to try to expand this series and see if I can get a really nice series of photos from it. I think it's really important to do these like personal personal projects along the way. You don't just want to always be working on whatever your professional photography is, like your sports or your landscapes or whatever it might be. Really important, I think, for your creativity to do these like side projects along the way. So I'm really looking forward to expanding this one. Now, by comparison, let's bring in the photo that I edited on the app on Snapseed. That is right here. In fact, I'm going to show a little bit around the editing process first, and then this is the photo right here. Came out really well, right? I mean, if you looked in real close, could you see a bit of difference maybe between that one and the Lightroom edited one? But perhaps, but in all honesty, not much, right? I've cropped it the same way. It's a 5x4 crop, and it looks really cool. So there you go. And in fact, let's put them in side by side right here. You can see them comparison. And you see what I mean? You can hardly tell much difference. So there you have it, guys. Look, overall, really pleased, right? Professional looking product photography for less than £100. I think it's come out really well. I've got to say, I'm definitely going to use that. I 100% will use that box whenever I'm photograph something like to put on eBay or to sell, or when I photograph some of the like little kind of merch items I do on my website. I definitely will use that to photograph those too. And of course, I'm going to use it to carry on shooting my little Lego figures. I'm going to put the link in the description below if you want to go and look at that box specifically on the Neewer website. And in fact, I'll link it to Amazon as well. So if you want to, a lot of people, it's easier just to go buy it on Amazon. So I'll link that one there too. Really worth checking it out if you are looking for a product photography box. You can buy cheaper ones on eBay. They are smaller though. I was really actually surprised by how big this one was. But some of the ones on eBay literally are like 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Now, of course, the size of this one here, I could have photographed all kinds of stuff in there. I could have put like a whole backpack in there or something to photograph if I needed to. For my Lego characters, one of those small ones would have been good, but I know there's LED lights in the smaller, cheaper ones aren't necessarily as good because I've heard from other people who've used them that they can be a little bit funny, whereas of course this one, really good. The lighting was perfect. So I've got to say, Neewer, thank you for sending me the box. Really liked it. 100% going to be using it more. Really recommend it for you guys who are in the market for one. I think in the meantime, that's about it. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.